Hey guys, I'm Panda Bennett, and today's video is a VR to Jules at Esoteric Cosmos Books for hashtag Chakra energy decks. So the challenge was to pick 7 decks that coincide with the chakras, and Jules gave some keywords, and so I will use those and go through. And this was just another fun reason to go through your decks and to just relate with the different decks that I have. And so the first chakra is the root chakra, and the keyword was grounding. So for that, my deck is the Centennial Rider-Waite Smith deck. So this, everyone else picked like plant decks and stuff. So for me, like grounding, I was thinking of like calm. So this deck, when I got this definitely wasn't like my favorite deck or anything like that. But it came in this tin. And so it quickly became like my tag-along deck. So I could put it in this tin and throw it in my purse and take it with me, and I didn't have to worry about it like getting wet or getting damaged or getting sun bleached or anything like that because of its nice tin. And so this deck has just become my companion. It goes everywhere with me, and like you can see that like it's kind of had a hard life. It's very well loved, very well used. I am a anxious shuffler, so I will just sit and shuffle. This deck is almost never in its tin unless I'm traveling. Usually my 1-year-old is running around chewing on the tin. It's like crooked. But like when I am at home, I just like when I'm walking through the house, I'm shuffling. When we're sitting watching a movie, I'm shuffling. It's just something to do for anxiety, and it just helps me like calm myself, and it's very grounding. So this was the first deck that I thought of. I just have such a huge respect for the traditional artwork, and for Pamela Coleman Smith. So this was just the first deck that I thought of. I am a Rider-Waite Smith girl through and through. I'm a diehard. I love the traditional artwork. I love this tarot system. The Death card is my favorite card, always, and my Stalker card. So yeah, so this was just the first deck. My mom got sick last year, and she was like in the hospital for like 5 months, and I would travel back and forth to see her and stay with her in the hospital, and I would just take this deck, take this tin with me. I did readings for people in the ICU waiting room, that kind of stuff, and then just as I was sitting, just sit and shuffle in the car, shuffle, that kind of thing. So this is definitely my calm grounding deck. So for the second one, it's the Sacral chakra, and it was Sensuality. And the very first deck that came to mind for me was the Dark Days tarot deck. It's got this nice silver gilding. It is square, which it fits really nice in your hand. It makes it nice for shuffling, and also what makes this deck different is that it can be read directionally. So like all 4 directions, that's why they made it perfectly square. But this, to me, is just a really sensual deck. This was the first thing that I thought of. Hopefully you can get that to focus. But it just is a very feminine deck, very sensual, beautiful. The artwork, black and white, but gorgeous. So this was just my first deck that I thought of that came to mind for Sensuality. Okay, and for the third chakra, the solar plexus, her keyword Jules gave was power, and so for that I picked the Nefertari Tarot. So this deck, as soon as I pick it up, I just feel powerful. I feel like the images are so beautiful with this gold foiling. The images are beautiful. They're really powerful. It gives powerful messages, and I just feel really powerful when I pick up this deck. I mean, all of life started in Egypt, and this deck just reminds me of that. It reminds me of my ancestry and just my strength, the strength of the people. These are really strong, really powerful cards. They give great readings. So next, for the heart chakra, the keyword was love. So of course I had to go with the Way of the Panda tarot. Our house is all pandas. We're obsessed with pandas. We refer to our kids as the small pandas. We refer to the house as the panda sanctuary. For Christmas, we got everything from panda socks to a large blow-up panda for our yard. I have panda stuff on my altar. We have panda shirts. Almost everything that we got for our new baby is panda themed. We just go hard for pandas in this house. So this was immediately the deck that I thought of when I thought of love. And not only that, but this deck and pandas themselves, like, this is such a loving deck. And the images are beautiful and loving and bright. The colors are so great. Yeah, so this was just my first choice. It had to be for love. And my husband actually got this for me for Christmas, I think a couple years ago, last year. So definitely, I just feel a lot of love when I pick up this deck. For the next one, for the throat chakra, sorry, I said that into my boobs. You guys probably couldn't hear me. Okay, so for the next one, which is the throat chakra, the keyword was messages. So for that, I picked my Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle. And this just gives, it only has the one keyword, and this deck is meant to be read intuitively, but the artwork and everything on it is just, it's so well done, and the artwork is so beautiful that it gives some of the best messages and readings that I've ever done. And I will sometimes use this alone, but often, even if I'm doing like a full tarot reading for people, I will often use this as a companion. It's just always accurate, and like I use this, there's a lot of like witchy and like autumn cards in it, but I use this all year round because it gives such good messages. Ooh. Got a jumper. Serenity. So this is the Earthly Souls and Spirits. So for the third eye chakra, the keyword was mind or perception. So I picked the Goliath tarot. This is another deck that was created specifically for shadow work. Which is my main jam. So Not only is the artwork beautiful and the cards are huge, I mean, like, look at this, which I love odd size cards, as you guys know, but the artwork, and then also the guidebook where he gives like his interpretation of the tarot and like why the artwork is the way it is. It definitely makes you think, and it just gives you a different perspective, a different way of looking at the situation and at the like traditional Rider-Waite interpretations and images. Isn't that gorgeous? I think this took him like 4 years. And you probably can't see here, but like you can literally see like the pencil strokes and stuff in the art. It's just so beautiful. And then also there are several extra cards because this deck was built with shadow work in mind and intended for shadow work. So there's extra cards in this deck. Of course, if you don't like them, you can just take it out and just use the traditional 78 cards. However, I leave them in. Sometimes I'll separate them and use them exclusively. But this entire deck I love, and it definitely just helps you expand your mind and your thoughts and gives really great messages. It's so perfect for shadow work. Okay, and then lastly for the crown chakra, the keywords was high vibe, and so of course, being a diehard Rider-Waite girl, I had to go with my Trippin-Waite. To me, this is definitely a high vibe deck. Again, the death card is my favorite card, and I especially love this one. The Hierophant in this deck is referred to as the Guru. But this is just a fun, high energy, high vibe, bright colored deck. I use this deck a lot, like if I'm gonna do like tarot parties, because it is a really fun, eye-catching deck. But yeah, this is definitely high vibe cards to me. Okay, so that was my 7 decks for the hashtag Chakra Energy decks. Thank you to Jules, and I will put a link to her original video down below. See you later, guys.